Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Boardroom podcast, where we help you stay calm, change lives, and have business on your terms. Now, we are back at it with another episode. We're going to be talking about a couple things. Last week, we kind of left you guys on a little bit of a cliffhanger with some of the traffic and funnel type stuff that that we were teasing about. But I want us to dive into a couple things. And T is kind of going to walk us through some updates and overall agenda. What are we talking about today?
Yeah, so big, just little overview. What we're going to be talking about today is the current things that are coming out with Charlie. So certain things are iMessages, okay, messaging from the platform, dynamic hunts timing, our second language model, and then the ability to use Charlie anywhere as long as you have Zapier, webhook, or API. Charlie can be used anywhere and doesn't have to be tied to a CRM or anything like that. So I think we should just go a little bit deeper into some of those new features that are coming out, and then we can go a little bit more in depth about each individual one.
We can save that for last because iMessage is going to be huge. And there's a lot of things that are going into that. So let's dive into dynamic hunts. First of all, for those who are listening for the first time, what the heck is Charlie Hunts?
Yeah, so Charlie Hunts is basically the his ability to follow up with a lead as much as you can, right? So if a lead comes in, because you know the money is in the follow up. So if a lead comes in, doesn't respond, Charlie responds, tries to hunt them down, right? It's following up. It doesn't respond, it follows up again, and then it follows up again, and then it follows again. Kind of like a buy or die type of model, right? It's like either you're gonna book a call, either you're going to show up, either you're going to buy something like if it's a low ticket product or whatever. He is gonna be hunting until that lead says, "All right, like I'll buy it," or you know what, just leave me alone for now. I'll just look at some other stuff or whatever. Whatever the case is, he's there.
That's really important because in a the money in sales is made in the follow-up, right? A follow-up allows you to be relevant, right? At the end of the day, people buy from the vendors and from the companies that are the most relevant at the time that they need that that they need a solution, right? So if you show an ad to somebody one time, right, unless it's relevant to them right then and there, they're not going to opt in. And then even after they opt in, unless the solution is relevant to them right then and then, they're not going to buy. So if you don't follow up with someone, you lose that relevance and it's out of sight, out of mind. There was a Harvard study that was done on it. It was like every eventual sale that's done in the US economy requires about 21 personal follow-ups, right? Whether it's like retargeting campaigns, email campaigns, SMS, phone calls, billboards, whatever it is, or social media content being posted. Is like 21 different touch points that eventually lead to most of the transactions that are taking place. And that's why these big companies pay so much money for TV advertisement, because although they can't trace the dollars that are directly coming from those TV ads, they know the power in staying relevant and being top of mind, right? So that's the idea and that's the vision behind Charlie. And so why is Charlie dynamic hunts timing why is that such a big deal?
Yeah, it's definitely a big deal because it gives you full control on how you want him to hunt, right? It could be based off minutes. It could be based off seconds. It could be based off days. It could be based off hours. So you could be very, very specific on how he hunts. So let's just say you wanted your first message to go out no matter what. I need this to go out 10 minutes after they don't respond. And then I want my second one to go out 4 hours, or I want my third one to go out 3 days, or whatever the case. You can have it very specific on how you hunt. You can even create multiple hunts, right? So let's say you have like your hunt one version and then you have like your hunt two version, right? that hunt two version can only go to specific for like this question. So, hey, when they get here, I need different styles of how he hunts, right? So the fact that he can be very, very dynamic in the way he hunts, it's a game changer.
Absolutely, because now before it was just like very stagnant, where it follow up on a very specific cadence and it wasn't really dynamic. But now, like there's so much you can make it so dynamic, it's ridiculous. And then build it and you set it once, and then you forget about it. That's the thing that everyone who's using Charlie loves Charlie Hunts, and it's one of those features that anytime it's not working, we know about it. As soon as it's not working, like, let's say, like, before in the past when it wasn't as stable, sometimes it would fire, sometimes it wouldn't. Every single time it didn't fire, somebody was telling us about it immediately because it's such a game-changing feature that everyone loves. Alright, and now
Exactly.
we just made it better. So I'm super excited about that. What's the next one on the list?
Yeah. So the next one we can probably talk about is messaging from the platform.
Yeah, now the messaging from the platform is an interesting one because it's not one that we were really like people were really pressing us about, but it was one that more and more people started to ask about because when somebody's having a really good conversation with Charlie and they're already and it's communicating with them with a line, with the phone number, they wanted to be able to come in and send them a message, send the lead a message using the same number that Charlie's been communicating with the person on. And very soon they can call the person using that same number, which I'm really excited about because then it allows it creates this kind of like Charlie dynamic duo where if Charlie books a call for a salesperson, they can go in and manually message the lead saying, "Hey, looking forward to our conversation. I'm gonna be calling you from this number in an hour or so."
So the other one, we can go into the second language model that is coming out for Charlie.
The sophisticated model we've been working on getting live. We've been testing it internally, and it's so freaking good.
It's mind blowing because what we have now is pretty freaking good, but the fact that it could be that even much more better is like, whoa, okay, this this is cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the cool thing about it is not everyone's gonna need it, but if you have a sophisticated buyer, right? Like if you're a B2C, if you're fitness or if you're targeting like consumers, right? An example of that would be like car dealerships are targeting consumers, fitness offers are targeting consumers, real estates are typically if it's like teaching people how to flip their first property, you're targeting consumers, right? Or any business opportunity, you're targeting consumers. And consumers aren't like hyper marketed AI, right? But business owners are, right? Business owners are seeing new AI tools on their feeds all the time. So they're hyper aware of the fact that there's a bunch of chatbots out there and they all sound robotic. They're all GPT wrappers and all these different things. And so their AI detectors are really, really high. So if they're hyper aware, they can tell right now that Charlie is a bot. Like you can't really tell, but you have to be like really paying close attention to everything that's being said, right? And there's only a few accounts that have this because of how sophisticated their buyers are. So we have to build something that's way more sophisticated that sounds really, really good. It can do some really complex reasoning. Um, and so I'm really excited about that, but it's one of those things where not everyone can get access to it because one, the computing power is insane. And then two is just we just don't have the bandwidth to support it across every single user. Right? It'd be like overkill rolling it out for somebody who has a fitness offer. Is like, bro, you don't need it.
Yeah, like look at your stats. Like, why do you need another language model? Just do what you've been doing for the last months you've been in here. It gets you great results. The ones that really, really need it, like you said, it has to be very specific the person that they're trying to get in front of, where they're trying to mess it up. Like it could be people like might be into what you want, but they're also trying to figure out like how's your marketing, what do you do, and then they're just being, quote unquote, dicks about it, and they're just trying to mess you up, right? Because they want to see like what you come back with. So their radar detector is like really high. So they're looking at it and they're listening or doing whatever. And then if they can somehow this language model gets them over that little hump, it's a game changer. Now they can't tell what the heck is what. And they're like, holy crap. But it'd be even better, like, hey, you know that acquisition you went through? Yeah, that was not none of us, by the way.
I mean, we experience that now within our own acquisition. We've had people who come into our funnel just trying to break Charlie, and I actually recorded a video of somebody trying their hardest to break it, and they were just blown away by how good it was. They were like, "Man, this is so damn good." Even having the more sophisticated model for ourselves, I mean, Charlie does a really good job, but the clients that really want it aren't spending the time to really train it to the level that they need, right? And ultimately, I mean, if you're spending, if you're targeting a more sophisticated buyer, leads are typically more expensive. So unless it's like really way more capable out the box, you end up spending a good amount of money on leads to kind of get the feedback that it needs to perform at the level that you want, right? Which I get why that is a bit of a constraint, and it's ultimately why we spent the time to build and get it ready to be deployed. Just got word that it'll be live like Monday. So
Awesome.
there's lots of things we can kind of go down as far as that goes, but it's not applicable to like 90% of the users anyways, or 90% of the use cases, but it's just like those 10%. If you're sophisticated business owner who targets sophisticated buyers and you want something more premium and more like higher level reasoning, we have that model and specifically for those accounts now. So if you're interested in that, shameless plug, go to charlieai.io and request a demo, and we'll be more than happy to showcase it to you.
Awesome. All right. This next one is I'm pretty crazy about. I know the next one after that you're gonna be pretty crazy about, but this one is the ability to use Charlie. As long as you have Zapier, a webhook, or an API, you can use Charlie anywhere and anywhere. As you could tell from us, we are not tied to a specific CRM. That is by design, by the way. All right. So we're not tied to GHL. We're not tied to one thing, right? We want to make Charlie available to anybody and anybody as long as you have these capabilities because we are just so siloed. We're not like, I need GHO to make this happen. Heck no. What GHO is one integration that we can use. But I'll let you elaborate a little bit further on that because this is a little bit more in your realm when it comes to Zapier, webhook, and API. But the ability that you can use it anywhere literally opens a lot of opportunity up.
This is huge because for us, our vision is we want Charlie to really be an employee, a part of like your sales force, right? So we don't want the constraint of, oh, I need to have go high level if I'm going to use this software. No, like you don't need to, the goal is for you not have to need anything new. The goal for it to integrate into your current tech stack seamlessly. So with this new rollout and having this functionality live now, it allows anyone, no matter what kind of tech that they're using, so long as that software has webhook, API capabilities, or has an integration with Zapier or Make, you can deploy Charlie into that sales process and have the full functionality of the platform, which I am so excited about because I don't want to force people to adopt new tech in order to get access to the most cutting edge AI sales assistant on the market, which I believe is what we're building. So I'm just really excited about that. It just opens up a world of accessibility to those who aren't using the native CRM integrations that we are building. But now we don't even have a need to have to build a bunch of native CRM integrations. They can just use the API, webhooks, or whatever it is to natively integrate it into their CRM and deploy Charlie into their sales process. So it allows us to be able to serve more clients. It also simplifies the actual setup once we get the Zapier templates ready to go. It actually makes it a lot easier for any new user to deploy Charlie. We just have to build out those templates, which I'm gonna work on this week and is getting those things mapped out and getting them buttoned up.
Exactly. Yeah. Like we just had a call with a potential with a client of ours, and he wanted to use their native CRM, which is very, very specific to an industry. He's like, "Can you make this work? I don't want to be getting all this other stuff." He goes, "Yeah, do you have webhook or API?" He goes, "We have an API." Well, you're all good. So you can integrate. He goes, "Oh, this is awesome. Like, I don't have to get any other stuff." And he goes, "No, all you have to do is just obviously get our Charlie dashboard and platform, right? And then we set up very specifically to that CRM that is very specific. Like, you won't ever hear about it unless you're in that particular industry, by the way. So even if I said the name now, you still don't know what the heck I'm talking about, right? But he's very excited for that, and I'm very excited because it just opens it up for a lot of people that want to use Charlie that just not want to be getting all this other stuff just to make it
Yeah,
work.
yeah, which I'm pumped about. And then the cool thing about why we wanted to decentralize is as your company's growing, you outgrow the software and the CRMs that you're currently using. Right? Not every CRM is like the right one for your current stage in business. And so our goal is Trolley integrates into any of your tech stack. As you grow and scale your business, if you need to switch CRMs, now you're not like, F me, we have all this AI trained data in this CRM, like we can't switch. And that's really what some of these companies want to do with you. They want you to be handcuffed to their platform and make it really hard for you to be able to switch, which I get, right? I get why they want to do that. All right. But if we want to serve the founder and the entrepreneurs that are our clients, we want to give them the ability to have options. So if they outgrow high level and they need to go to like clothes or they need to go to HubSpot, they make that migration and then plug Charlie into that CRM. And if they're like, oh, I need to go to a very industry specific CRM because we've grown out this general CRM that's really good if we're running a standard business, but we're very industry specific. And this CRM has all these very nuanced functionalities that we need to continue to expand our operation. We need to move to that CRM. Now, all of a sudden, is click a couple buttons and Charlie's ready to go in that CRM. So that vision there, and that's really why we wanted to get that done, is so that users and the entrepreneurs and the sales teams that are using Charlie, they can take it wherever they go and have it a part of their business operations, no matter how small or how big they grow their business.
Exactly. So super excited for that. Um, there is technically another one I wanted to go before the one you're really, really excited about. We can go into that. It has been out for a few weeks, but I don't think we've ever really like showcased it. And that is another one called Teams with Charlie. So you can have very
Yeah, we
specific.
have teams. We have
We
not
haven't really because there's already a few people that really need
because
it. Which
teams is very specific to like if you're a reseller of Charlie or if you're an agency owner of Charlie, like Teams gives you the ability to deploy Charlie into your client's business and get clients access to Charlie under your main account. And Teams is powerful, right? So you can and it's for those types of users, agency owners and resellers. It's not for our standard users. Standard users can still use Teams, but they only get to build one team. Whereas like our power users, agency owners and resellers can build a bunch of multiple teams, and each team can be for a completely different organization. And it works exactly the same way as a standard user would use it. They have Charlie a part of their team. It can be integrated into their CRM. They can take it with whatever CRM they want, and then they can build a bunch of different AI setters under that team specific to that organization, which is exciting.
yeah, very powerful. Um, yeah, super excited for that. Has been out. We just haven't really like shouted out.
Yeah, it just hasn't
It
been
really
given the love and attention that it deserves.
even though it has made those for specific clients very, very happy because we literally had one client brought over 60 some accounts under Teams. He's like, all right, I'm set. Like, it's up to you
Yep.
guys now.
Yeah,
So
and the teams for those accounts allow their clients to get direct support from us, when it comes to the software and working out any bugs and it allows the client to start to optimize Charlie and train it on their sales process and really, make it a part of their team. So the reason why we have like resellers and agency partners who can implement Charlie is one, they're implementing it into their client's business and it's a part of their client's business, right? And we didn't want to have the limitations of like high level where everyone and their mother is white labeling it and all these agency owners that are using it don't want to play nice with other agency owners that are using it. And so we wanted to avoid that and make it easy for the clients who the end user who they're servicing to actually know that it's Charlie and use it, but then it doesn't hurt the agency owner or the reseller disclosing that information to their clients. Does that make sense? 'Cause there's like this weird aurora around like high level agency owners. And it's like, they're like, oh no, like this is my own customs. It's like, no, mother effer, it's not. Like, why? And
so
then
some
on
say it
top
is
of that,
yours.
and then on top of that, every time, like if you want to work with another agency because you're not getting the results that you want from this agency, it's just this galactic headache that you have to go through to try and get stuff from your high level account that was supposed to be yours into this other agency account. Now you end up having two, three, four, five, six, seven. I know somebody who has like 10 different high level sub accounts because all these damn agency owners are like, nah, you can't have like, nah, this is mine. You know, I don't wanna have any parts of that, you know? So I'm like,
Say
we want the end user to own their AI setter, but then the agency owner gets paid off the end user using the AI setter. And then when they see our ads, they're like, "Oh, I'm using that software. It's awesome."
exactly.
Right? And if we end up shitting the bed, it gives the agency owner protection because 'cause they're like, "Oh, yeah, like, it's not my software. I don't know what happened there, but, like, I can help you fix it and go somewhere else if you need be." Right.
Exactly, and then you touch base real quick on the ability of getting that support because we now have support inside of the Charlie dashboard. You have direct support to our team instead of where you would have to go for Slack or anything like that. So now you have direct support to the team via the dashboard. So another shameless plug: if you're interested in being an agency owner or reseller of Charlie, go to charlieai.io and book a demo and then we'll hook you all up from there. All right.
Yeah, and we are going to be having a partner program that you can apply for on the website. It'll be somewhere on the website, kind of hidden because 'cause we're gonna be very selective about who becomes a partner. But, we'll probably include it in the show notes for this if it's I think that page should be live by the time this airs, so if it's not in the show notes, we'll edit it and include it in the show notes to make it easy for anyone who's interested in that partner program to apply, and, if you're a solid partner, you need to already have, like, existing audience or existing clients that you're doing a great job for, but if you meet those requirements, you have an opportunity to become a partner and then get paid indefinitely, however long your users are employing Charlie in their sales process.
Exactly. I won't give you the details, but it's a no-brainer offer. So wait till that comes out and we'll give you all the details on that. All right. Lastly is the one you're super excited about. So you tested this morning, which was fantastic. And it is called iMessage.
Yes.
We've been waiting
If
for
you
this one
have
for a time. We've been
I've
waiting
been
for it.
talking about getting iMessages for months now. We've been so delayed on this damn thing. It's been a labor of love trying to get this thing done. But iMessage is a real game changer, right? Because it allows anyone who has an iPhone, which is a lot of people, to receive a blue text message. And I don't know about you, but I don't like responding to green text messages. I absolutely hate being thrown into a group chat with somebody who has an Android because you can't leave it. If I get thrown into a group chat and I see a bunch of green messages in that blue chat, I mute it and I delete it from I block it. Like I just don't want to have any parts of it. It drives me nuts. So for me, and I know I'm not the only one. I'm not the only iPhone snob who
No, I totally get how you feel. The whole group chat, and I'll see like my family members, and I can't get out because I know for sure they don't have an iPhone. I'm like, F me, dude. I'll mute it and they'll go back and forth. Eventually it'll fall off, right? And I just delete it. But the fact that also that I get a message from a phone number I don't know about and it's green, right? I'm like, I'm suspicious already. I'm like, yeah, it's either one, I don't know who the heck you are entirely. You're a marketing person trying to get in front of me, right? And I'm like, I can give two craps about even I'll skim, grit, whatever, and I'll just delete it, and I don't even bother with it, right? It's probably something
yeah.
I must have opted in a long time ago. I don't know, but the fact that the green just pops up is like it's like red, right? It just looks like holy crap. Nah, just move on, right? And maybe we're just so Apple users.
That's why we want to have it because it's just opens up a pretty big market and the response rate with it is way higher. The response rate is much higher. There's something like that for Android users now. I think somebody called it like RSP or whatever it is, but it's such a stable for iPhone users. Android users, I honestly don't think they really care as much, right? Because it's just copying what iPhone already has, and the social indoctrination is already been established, right?
Exactly.
With receiving a blue bubble text message. So this is really powerful because then what we're going to be doing with coupling this with the ability to manually send a message from the dashboard is you can actually piggyback off the iMessage line that your Charlie agent has if you are a sales rep, right? So if Charlie's in booking your appointments and then you have the appointment coming up, you can text the person like, hey, I'm going to be calling you from this number. And very soon we're going to allow the ability for our users to just call the lead using the same number that Charlie's been texting them and communicating with them from, which is really powerful, right? Because then it allows Charlie to truly integrate into their sales process and allows it to be a platform that their sales team is using to contact the leads that Charlie's qualifying and teeing up for the closers, right?
Exactly. And then that so not only did you said that about the salespeople messaging from the platform, and it is a iPhone coming from an iPhone, right? That end user is going to respond. Because it feels like there's an actual real person that's on the other side instead of getting text messages from whatever, right? Because there is some clients that in here have their sales reps message from their own personal phone because they want the iMessage to go out to try to get a response back, but is very, very, very inefficient for the sales rep to be getting these phone numbers. And they have like a line of numbers in their
Yeah,
personal
and
phone.
there's no automation there, so it's all manual, and there's no way to organize it versus having it centralized through Charlie and having anyone on their sales team being able to go in and communicate with the lead that Charlie's teed up. Just makes it really easy for them to actually communicate and get the deals done, right? And get people on the phone, which is the most important thing. Like if you can have a high response rate, it increases your relevance, and then if you have a high, really good conversation, right, increases rapport, right, and increases intent. And then if you have the ability to allow your sales team to utilize the technology to get on the phone with the prospect, the show rate goes through the roof, right? Because now, like, you don't have prospects getting messages from this, text messages from this other number, and then appointment reminders from this random number, and then by the time it's for the call by the time it's time for the appointment, they're getting another message from a random number that they don't have saved, and you wonder why your show rate is through the floor.
Yeah, it makes the lead, it makes them think that you're very unorganized, right? Like, dude, I get messages here and I get messages here. One of two things is gonna happen. One, they're not gonna show up. Two, they could show up, but it's gonna probably be extremely low. Or three, you're gonna piss them off, right? And then you're
Yeah,
gonna lose that
and then they
person
don't
to
know
show up.
who are
They
they
don't know who to
supposed to
talk to.
respond to?
Exactly.
Which line are they responding to? Because what if they thought they did show up and they responded to the wrong line, right? And they were expecting a call from a different line, and then they get a call from a complete random line. Like they're like, "Oh, I was sitting here waiting 20 minutes for you to call me, and nobody called."
Exactly.
I suspect that is happening a lot more, and that's probably why a lot of these guys are trying to use Zoom and just have like this Zoom link in every one. But it'd be a lot easier if, even if it's a Zoom call, you call them using the same number that they've been communicating with, and be like, "Hey, I'm in the Zoom room. I'm going to text it to you." Right? Drop the Zoom link, send it. Person shows up. There you go.
Exactly. So it's a very, very, very powerful tool. It might not sound powerful, like if you don't know the deep, nuances about it, the very detail. But like, hey, I met, is live. Oh, cool. It's iPhone and iPhone. Great. But when we just literally did what we just talked about, you're like, oh yeah, it's pretty powerful. I know it's pretty powerful. That's why Iggy has been hunting this down to get it live for the last few months, and we tested it today, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting this bad boy in the hands of our clients, and even looking forward for like leads who didn't even know this was possible. Like I'm just like I'm gonna be watching that thing like a hawk. When a lead comes in and they get a blue text message, I know for a fact their mind is gonna be blown, and we're gonna be very transparent that it's AI. Right? We're gonna let them know that it's AI communicating with them, and they're gonna be like, "How the F are you guys doing this?" Yes. Find out. Schedule a demo, we'll show you.
Exactly. All right, Iggy. That's all I got for the new feature updates of Charlie AI. More stuff is coming down the pipeline. We'll let you know when those stuff go out. We can maybe do a segment or a podcast on new stuff that comes out. But we work extremely hard for the dev team, Iggy, the whole everybody works extremely hard to get certain things out. Even some stuff that you might not even be thinking about Charlie, very specific for features. But we know the sales process on how to make this be an employee or how to make the whole sales process work. That's why there's certain things that you might not think of, but we're obviously thinking of it because we've had tons of experience going through it, and then making it very possible for you. Go ahead, E.
Yeah, 100%, and we're up on time, actually, so we're not even gonna be able to go into the traffic stuff.
It's
Sorry
all
for
good.
leaving you hanging.
Double hangover.
Sorry for leaving you hanging again. About to give about to give the audience blue balls, waiting for us to discuss how to increase traffic.
We'll get you guys on the next one for sure.
We will, I promise. We'll make sure that gets done. But till next time, guys, stay calm, change lives, and have business on your terms.